Deshaun Watson has settled 20 out of the 24 sexual misconduct cases about him, Ike. And Ike, like we said on our last show, this is the reason why the NFL is holding off on making a decision, because they want to see how all of this ends up playing out. So again, the 2 grand juries in Texas have declined to pursue criminal charges against Watson, but the NFL conducting its own investigation, whether he violated the code of conduct, and the league interviewed the quarterback as well. So we don't have quite a decision from the NFL yet, but again, wait to see how this plays out before we're going to definitively say one thing or another. Watson is going to face a suspension of some sort. I can guarantee you that. I personally still think it's going to be closer to a year, but again, we'll end up seeing what ends up happening with all of this too, now that 20 out of the 24 cases are settled.
Yeah. For Deshaun, Mark, with these settlements, he just wants this to go away, because this is going to be a dark cloud. The longer he tagged this along, the cloud just going to sit over his head. So 20 out of 24, I'm just sure he's trying to settle with these other 4 settlements and get it over with. And then the NFL, they're going to wait and see if any other thing come back up. That's exactly what they're going to do. It's going to be a wait and see kind of moment. So, but what I was saying on our last show about Deshaun, the NFL work a little different. They're on their own time. Do I think he will get suspended? Yeah, he's definitely going to get suspended. It's just on how long. You think a year? I don't think you're wrong. I'm thinking 8 to 10 games. I think he's going to appeal it, and he'll come back mid-season. But I think with the NFL, they're going to do their own investigation. They're going to make sure all these settlements are done and wait and see if anything else pops back up.
Yeah, things that we don't know with this, we don't know what the figure was for the settlements for each of the women. And then one other thing of note that really caught my attention was so initially there were 25. One name was dropped when a judge ruled that one of the women's petition had to be amended with her name. The attorney Busby, I Bleav it's Jay Busby, noted that Ashley Solis, the first woman to file a lawsuit against Watson and the first to speak publicly about it and identify herself as a plaintiff, was not one of the 20 to settle today. So I thought that was noteworthy too. So again, we're going to see, look, I don't, when things are fluid, I don't want to say definitively one way or another, this is how it's going to shake out. We'll see what ends up happening with the remaining 4 civil lawsuits still out there with Watson. And we'll continue to talk about this here on the show, Ike, too, because the Browns and the Steelers division, a team that the Steelers are going to have to play twice this season. So we'll see what ends up happening, too, and then how that affects the on-field play. Again, and I need to say this, too, just so this isn't taken out of context, that's not to underscore the seriousness of the allegations against Watson as well. So just putting out all of the facts there. Tony Busby is the name of the attorney as well. Just want to correct that too for the record too, Ike.
No, Deshaun, as a player in Deshaun's mind, he just wanted this dark cloud to clear. And the only way it's gonna clear if he settle. That's just how it's gonna go. Now it's on the NFL hands on exactly what they want to do with Deshaun Watson. So they're going to take their time as well. That's why they're going to suspend him. They're going to suspend him and see, and it's going to be a waiting game to see if anything else pops up. You're thinking a year. I'm not going to argue with the year, because they can go from the year and they can do some more investigation, and they might say, hey, man, you can come back in week 12. You just never know. So, yeah, in Deshaun's mind, he wants this thing to clear. And I'm sure the women, they want this to clear as well.
Yeah, and one quick note to wrap this up, to put a bow on this as well. You mentioned settlement. The reason for that is if this does go to trial, and again, it's a civil suit, not a criminal suit, but if it does end up going to trial, that will not happen until 2023. So Correct. That would happen after the 2022 season. And again, if it does end up going to trial with the civil case, the burden of proof is much less than that it would be if it were a criminal case as well. So just want to throw that out there, make sure our listeners and viewers are informed about the situation regarding Deshaun Watson.